Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I'm happy to welcome you to the Airport Safety Channel. I am your host, Isaac Otu, and it is a privilege to have you on this channel. I believe you have subscribed, clicked on the bell, you have shared it with your friends, colleagues, and professionals in the aviation industry. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments after this presentation. As you already may be aware, our presentation this week is focused on the airport inspector. There are different types of airport inspectors with various forms of inspections. And the question is, are you ready to be an airport inspector? As an airport inspector, do you know what is involved? Do you have what it takes? How well do you know your facility? These are some of the questions we'll be answering as we go along through a series of presentations that you will have week after week. For now, our focus will be on answering the first question. Do you know what is involved? Let's take a look. This is a scenario that is familiar to many of us. You come to the airport, an airport inspector or a group of inspectors show up, take their vehicle, pack their equipment, and then start moving up and down the runway, taxiways, aprons, and many other parts of the airport. Depending on which group of inspectors you have, the day might end with a report saying that all that was okay the previous day is no longer okay today. Some too might end up by recommending things that you wonder where they came up from. Yes, it all boils down to who or what type of inspection was conducted in your aerodrome. So let's take a look at this video again with a different eye. So looking at this inspection, it requires preparation. This inspection is likely to be led by airport inspection team, civil aviation inspection team, or others, which could be the Airport Council International or ACI. If it is being led by the airport staff, then they are likely to be using the airport operational manuals, standard operating procedures, checklists, reports, etc. If it is being led by the Civil Aviation Authority, then you are likely to be using national regulations, previous audit findings, checklists, reports, etc. If it is being led by other agencies, they are likely to be using all of the above, the industry best practices, specific terms of reference, in addition to any other reference that the airport that invited them may require. But in a nutshell, all inspections that are being carried out may contain details from the Annex 14, the Airport Planning Manual, Part 1 to 6, Airport Services Manual, Part 1 to 9, Manual of Certification, Procedures of Air Navigation Services, Aerodromes, and any other relevant document that is necessary for the successful completion of that particular inspection. So the question is, which category do you fall in? Are you with the Civil Aviation Authority, the aerodrome operator, or other agency? That is why I recommend that we share this link with other professionals in the aviation industry, be it the CAA, the aerodrome operator, or even ground handling agents or people in other aspects of operations, because the knowledge that we acquire together will help us work better in the field. We are going to focus most of our material on the Civil Aviation Authority and the aerodrome operator. I believe that if you have good knowledge of what the civil aviation expects and performs the functions of the aerodrome operator, you should be able to understand and perform roles of other agencies in the aviation industry. So we are going to start by discussing the Civil Aviation Authority, what their duties are and what is expected from their inspectors. Responsibilities of the Civil Aviation Authority. The primary responsibility of the Civil Aviation Authority with respect to regulations and operations of aerodromes in a state is to ensure that 1. The aerodrome under the jurisdiction of the CAA offer safe operational environment in accordance with the Convention on International Civil Aviation, and 2. The CAA complies with its obligation under Article 38 of the Convention to notify ICAO of differences between its national regulations and practices and the international standards contained in Annex 14, Volume 1. What this means is that the aerodrome that is supervised by the CAA is expected to provide a safe operational environment, and the CAA's role is to ensure that the aerodrome operator can perform or provide this environment. Therefore, the CAA is supervising the aerodrome operator to achieve this. The CAA also has responsibilities to inform ICAO or notify ICAO of any action or decision that has been accepted by the nation which are not in accordance with the recorded details of the ICAO Convention, so that the CAA is a liaison between the airport operator and the ICAO. If airport operator decides to do something that is different from what ICAO expects, the CAA must vet it and inform ICAO accordingly. The functions of the CAA are performed by inspectors, aerodrome inspectors, or aviation inspectors. Yes, and this group of inspectors in the CAA fall under the Directorate of Aerodrome Standards and Safety, which is a requirement by ICAO to be established by every civil aviation authority. The functions and responsibilities of the Aerodrome Standards and Safety Directorate are the development of aerodrome standards, that is, developing and continuing to review the national standards and practices for aerodrome design, operations, maintenance, and engineering specifications. It is this department or this directorate that develops all the standards that are used by the airport when planning, operating, designing, maintaining, and even engineering specifications into the airport. The same directorate is responsible for notification to AIS and other organizations. That is, notifying the Aeronautical Information Service, the AIS, of the certified status of an aerodrome and providing the particulars of the aerodrome described in the aerodrome manual for promulgation by the AIS. So the CAA's Directorate of Aerodrome Standards and Safety is responsible for informing AIS of the standards or the grounds through which they certified an airport. Therefore, the next activity of this directorate is in aerodrome certification. Aerodrome certification. They are also responsible for safety audits, and they also ensure compliance and enforcement. Because we are dealing with inspections, we'll focus our next slide on the safety audits, the safety audit activities of this directorate. Safety audits are mandatory activities that need to be performed by the Aerodrome Standards and Safety Directorate. These tasks and responsibilities include periodic or special on-site audits of the aerodrome safety management system, including verification of the aerodrome and data published in the Aeronautical Information Publication, and inspection of the aerodrome facilities, equipment, and operating procedures, and review of the aerodrome operators' daily audits and special safety audit reports and actions thereon. In a nutshell, airport safety audits conducted by the CAA focuses on the implementation of the safety management system. We will later on look at what the safety management system is made up of and why it is so important for the CAA and, for that matter, ICAO. They also focus on the verification of the aerodrome, that is, the facilities in the aerodrome and the information published relating to the aerodrome are verified, so that the data published in the AIP can be confirmed or changed if required. Their inspection also focuses on the facilities, equipment, and operating procedures. The CAA does not come to audit anything new from their perspective. They only come to refresh their memories on what the airport operator, through its aerodrome manual, has stated that they are going to do. So if the CAA comes to an airport and finds a deficiency, it is because the aerodrome operator has promised to provide that service or that equipment or facility to ensure the safe environment for aerodrome operation, and at that particular inspection has failed to provide such an environment. The CAA do not create the environment. They only audit the environment provided by the airport operator. The CAA also reviews the aerodrome operators' daily audits and special safety audit reports and actions thereon. That is, the aerodrome operator must have already instituted a daily audit and must also have, as part of the daily audit, other special safety audits. Now, if they have these audits in place, they must have reports showing that these audits have been conducted, and the content of the audit should be evident in the reports. And the reports must also show actions taken after those audits were completed. If you have this in place, the CAA will look through this and will be satisfied. If you don't have these things in place, then the CAA has an open field where they dig, they uncover, and they discover anything in the aerodrome, and it becomes a finding against the airport operator. In summary, the CAA, represented by the Directorate of Aerodrome Standards and Safety, has audit program which operates on the principle that the aerodrome certificate holder or the aerodrome operator has an internal audit program. So if you don't have an internal audit program, then you have already created a gap in your safety management system. The authorities' audits are conducted to review and evaluate that program. So whenever the CA comes, their audit is to review your inspection program. And in addition to reviewing what you have already done, they will go further to check and see whether what is in your report is the same thing that is on ground, and verify the particulars of the aerodrome notified in the AIP. So if in your aerodrome you have published that you have 4 taxiways or taxi lanes, they are going to check if it is the same thing on ground, and if it is not, update their AIP accordingly. They will also look at your aerodrome operating procedures, your safety measures in place, and facilities and equipment. In all this, you will clearly see that a CAA airport inspector comes in to check what the airport has already done. What the airport has already done. If you have not done anything previously, then you will have challenges in future with your CAA inspector. What I'd like you to remember as part of this presentation is that if an aerodrome operator does not have or has not implemented or recorded its internal audit program, then they are likely to fail external audits. If an aerodrome operator does not have or has not implemented or has not recorded details of an internal audit program, then they are likely to fail external audits. They are likely to fail external audits. This is very important, and you must keep it in mind. We will end today's presentation with these bullets in our guns. I'd like you to go back as an aerodrome operator and check on your aerodrome internal audit program. Do you have one? Are you implementing it? Are you keeping records? And is the record leading to actions taken in the future to correct them? If not, then stand by for the next presentation in the coming week. Thank you for watching. Post your comments and questions. Subscribe and click the bell. Share with one and all. Remember, I'll be standing by for your comments. This is the Airport Safety Channel, your channel of professional excellence. Thank you and hope to hear from you soon.